Most people think they understand what's happening with AI right now, but they don't. And honestly, that's not even their fault. Because what we are seeing isn't just a technological shift, it's a shift in how we define understanding itself. And that's where things start to get uncomfortable. Think about this. Right now, you can open a machine, type anything, and it responds like it knows exactly what it's talking about. It can explain philosophy, it can write code, it can answer complex questions in seconds. And naturally, the first assumption people make is this thing understands. But does it? Or is it just really good at looking like it does? That's the line we are crossing right now. The difference between looking intelligent and being aware. And most people aren't even questioning it. Let's slow this down because this matters more than people think. When you talk to an AI system, what you're actually interacting with is not understanding. It's pattern recognition at a scale that humans have never even seen before. It has seen billions of examples of language, billions of patterns, billions of relationship between words. So you ask it something, it doesn't think, it predicts. It predicts what the most likely correct answer should sound like. Not what is true, not what is real, not what is experienced, just what fits. And here's where it gets interesting because humans aren't that different. A lot of what people call knowledge is just memorized patterns. You hear something enough times, it starts to feel true. You repeat it, and now it feels like your idea. But if someone asks you to break it down from first principles, that's where things start to fall apart. So now we have this strange situation machines that don't understand anything, and humans who think they understand everything. And both are operating in the same space. This is where confusion begins. Because when an AI speaks confidently, it feels real. It feels like intelligence. It feels like understanding. But confidence has nothing to do with truth. You can say something completely wrong with perfect structure, perfect tone, perfect delivery, and people will believe it. Now scale that with AI. Now imagine millions of outputs like that every day. We are entering a world where the appearance of intelligence is becoming more powerful than intelligence itself. That's dangerous. Not because AI is evil, but because humans are easily convinced. Let's take it deeper. What is understanding really? Understanding is not just knowing information, it's not repeating facts, it's not even solving problems. Understanding comes from experience, awareness, context, reflection. It's something internal, something lived. You don't just understand pain by reading about it, you understand it by going through it. You don't understand leadership by defining it, you understand it by making decisions when things are uncertain. So now ask yourself, can a machine do that? Can it experience anything? Can it feel uncertainty? Can it question itself? No. It can simulate all of that perfectly, but simulation is not reality. And this is where most people get lost because simulation is becoming so good that the difference is becoming invincible. You talk to something long enough that sound intelligent and eventually your brain stops questioning it. It just accepts. And that's the real shift happening. Not AI becoming conscious, but humans lowering their standard for what consciousness look like. That's the part nobody's talking about. We are adapting to the machine instead of asking whether the machine understands. We are starting to act like it does, and that changes everything. Because once you accept that something understands, you start to trust it. You rely on it. You stop questioning. And over time, you stop thinking. Not completely, but gradually, subtly. You outsource small decisions, then bigger ones. Then eventually, your thinking becomes guided. Not forced, not controlled, but influenced. And influence is more powerful than control. Now, let's be clear. This is not something about fear. This is not about awareness. AI is one of the most powerful tools ever created. It can accelerate learning, it can expand ideas, it can give access to knowledge at a level never seen before. But tools amplify behavior. If you use it to think deeper, it will make you sharper. If you use it to avoid thinking, it will make you weaker. That's the balance. And most people won't notice the shift because it doesn't feel like losing intelligence. It feels like gaining convenience. And convenience is addictive. You don't feel the loss immediately, you feel the benefit: faster answers, less effort, more efficiency. But over time, something changes. You stop sitting with questions, you stop struggling with ideas, you stop thinking things through, and that struggle, that's friction. That's where real understanding comes from. Without it, you don't grow. So now we are facing something deeper than technology. We are facing a choice. Do we use AI as a tool, or do we let it become a substitute for thinking? Because those are two different paths. One leads to expansion, the other leads to dependency. And the scary part is, both parts feel the same at the beginning. That's why this matters. Not because AI is replacing humans, but because it's redefining what it means to think. And if you don't define that for yourself, something else will define it for you. So maybe the real question isn't, is AI conscious? Maybe the real question is, are we still thinking? Because intelligence isn't about having answers, it's about asking better questions. And the moment you stop questioning, that's when understanding disappears. Even if everything around you sounds intelligent, that's the illusion. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.